Welcome back to 52 Licks, almost to the finish line. Last time we covered a Jeff Tain Watts lick out of that Magnificent Seven book, and I went with something that's a little more bebop oriented, just to kind of reference that a lot of Tain stuff comes from that, even though he's developed it into like a singular voice that we identify with him. But I also wanted to hit some stuff that I think is like purely Tain that very few other drummers I think are dealing with, because it just would be a crime to let that go. So this, one of the things I love about Tain is, there's lots of creative things with odd groupings of notes, fives and sevens and nines. But he's one of the few drummers I've heard, at least, to be able to play a quintuplet. And a septuplet, but for now we're just going to deal with a quintuplet and actually make it work in a swing context. We hear quintuplets in Zappa's music and a lot of progressive music. However, most of that stuff, it's hard to make that kind of stuff swing, and Tain's one of the very few guys that has figured that out. So just to be clear, an odd grouping of notes is to take 5/16 notes and just loop them so that even though the rate is still 4/16 for every 1/4, right? We're just looping a 5-note grouping of that, so it keeps going over the bar. A quintuplet is 5 notes crammed into 1 beat, or 5 notes crammed over 2 beats, that kind of a thing. So he's got lots of cool little combinations, but in this solo he does, it's off of a Branford Marsalis record entitled Footsteps of Our Fathers, where he plays a bunch of older jazz standards that don't get done a lot, and he does Sonny Rollins' Freedom Suite. And on there, there's a 7/4 section where Tain gets to blow for a little while, and he plays a little quintuplet at the end of one of his phrases. So very slowly, the 5 notes go like this. It's going to start with our hi-hat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it almost kind of sweeps from the drum stool perspective, sweeps from left to right. Left. The first 4 notes sweep left to right from us if you're a right-handed drummer sitting behind the kit. So foot, left, foot, right, and then it resolves on the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to resolve on the next downbeat with the right crash. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Foot, left, foot, right, left, crash. And to me, part of the phrasing, which I think is crucial, is too much to get into now, but there's a couple of specific triplet things that makes the way Elvin plays triplet be more swinging and a little more different than a lot of people play triplets. And one of them is there's a particular resolution phrase where we basically get trip, bullet, crash, so that last let of the triplet is on the snare drum, and what precedes it is a low sound. So either 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. That's just a real rudiment, like a very rudimentary or very base version of that. But this 5 that Tain has us playing has that little lilt at the end too, where it kind of resolves in a similar fashion to what Elvin does. So he's just doing it as a 5-note group. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So let's go over that. I think the way he does it is he does it as 16th based 5. So it's 5 notes over 1 beat. And in the course of a 7/4 bar, he does it on beat 7. So we can do it that way as well. I also hear Tain a lot playing a 5-note grouping over 2 beats, which would be an 8th note kind of version of the phrase. So it's 1, 2, taka de nigga 1, like that. There's a bunch of ways to count a 5. The way I learned that really kind of stuck with me was from there's a great drummer named Casey Sherrill, teaches at Berkeley. I ran into him at a drum clinic, and he actually signed his name with this phrase, taka de nigga. So it's one of the Indian counting systems to count to 5. So that's how I learned to internalize a 5 was takadenego. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Takadenego. So you can use that as a comping phrase. You can use it as a soloing phrase. Check out that although it's a 5, part of the reason it swings is because he's using that last sound that he basically got from Elvin's version of a triplet. So he's almost like taking an Elvin triplet, but he's greasing it up a little bit by, instead of playing 6 notes, he's stretching it out and playing 5. So check out that little 5-note grouping. Let's try it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Try revoicing it. Try your own versions of 5s. Just make sure that they swing the way Tain's does. Okay, good luck.